So a quick introduction. Today in Excel, we are covering some beginners basic. Basically, we are going to look at Excel formatting, types of formatting we have in Excel, especially text and numbers. So over here, if you can see my screen, I'm sharing a quick snapshot of what we are going to be sharing about today. So here, basically, I have prepared a quick sheet about all the types of formats in Excel that we experience. And throughout this next 20 or 20 minutes, I'm going to share with you quickly all this formatting and what it's about. So this is a good course for those who are basically trying to understand Excel when you input data, how it works and what doesn't work. And sometimes why when you key in certain data, they look funny or they look different from the natural way it's supposed to look. We're going to explore all that. So in this quick video preview here, I've shown you that I'm going to show certain things like dates, time, how they all look in Excel and how it all works. All right, so without further ado, this sheet will be available to you guys at the end of the day. You can ask within Seafood Time. They will share with you this sheet so that you can also look into it, practice, and explore. All right, I'm going to stop this video now. So this is what we will be learning. So to begin, in Excel, if you normally use Excel, I'm going to zoom in my screen a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to move this aside. All right, guys. Just to be sure, while I'm going through this session, if you notice any break or if my zooming in is not working, you can type in the chat box below, guys, or my fellow trainers, just to let me know. But if everything is going smooth, then cool. So let's begin. In these data types in Excel, there are only two types, and let's explore them. One of them is numbers. So that's a random number. And the other one is text. The first thing you'll notice in any Excel default is numbers will always behave by going to the right and text will be going to the left. So this is important to note because when you key in anywhere, you will notice that numbers will always behave going to the right. Now, because numbers are something we can calculate and Excel pushes it to the right so that you know. And if you type text with numbers or anything, it will also stick only to the left. So this tells you that Excel understands that you're trying to key in text. So let's take a quick look at all these type of numbers. So I'm going to key in a random number here, 12345.67. Now, when you key in a typical number in Excel, this is what it looks like. However, this is a bit hard to read because there's no formatting. So let's try the next one. I'm just going to copy this and paste it here, here, and here. Now let's take a quick look at the differences. So this is actually a format. Now, if I were to click on Home, I'm going to zoom in. In the top here, you will see in Home ribbon menu, the number we have General Setting. Now, if I click the next one, which is a number, I'm going to try and choose in the Home ribbon. I'm going to lock this and pin it, and I'm going to choose number. Now, by choosing number, the first thing you'll notice is I can actually format this with comma, and you will notice it's easier to read that this is 12,345. Next, with currency, if I were to choose currency, it will basically give me the formatting of my default value, where my current setting is in UK pound, but I've also prepared one where I can change this to Ringgit Malaysia, which I'll show you shortly how that can be done. And then accounting, if I have to change this to accounting, then you'll notice that the pound sign, however, is pushed all the way to the left because this is easier for people who are doing finance to actually read the numbers. And of course, the currency value of your choice. Now, to just quickly change this formatting of the pound sign, right-click, click on Format Cells. And over here, if you notice, all of this customization is under currency. You can choose a symbol of your own currency in your country, or you can go to Custom really quickly. And in front here, this pound sign, I'm just going to replace this by just deleting it. opening a double quote and place RM space, close double quote. And now I've basically custom formatted this value of currency to Ringgit Malaysia. Click OK, and there we go. Now the same for accounting as well. If I were to right click this, go to Format Cells, under Custom. Now I know you'll see a lot of funny little symbols here and you're wondering what they are. Not to worry, we'll explore that shortly. But right now, if I just need to change the symbol of the pound, put a double quote, put RM space, double quote, and there we go. I have the RM. Now, the other values that you see here are all separated with a tiny semicolon. So this semicolon allows you to add different types of ways your number will show. Okay, so think of formatting like a disguise. The core number, what it actually looks like, and then the disguise is where we put on a clothes or a suit on the number that you see. So right now, I just have a positive value. This is sufficient. This, after the semicolon, is for a negative value, and this one is for any other value, and then text. Now for now, RM will do. Okay, let's explore short dates. Now, when we type dates in Excel, it's important to take note. Let's say today is the 1st of August 2021. Now, upon keying it, you notice that it jumps straight to the right. So Excel understands you're trying to key in a date. Just take note if you are under UK or US settings, because if you are, sometimes it will be inverted. To change these settings, you need to go to your control panel in Windows and basically check your region, but we'll not go into that. Now, for long date, if I were to key in a date here, 2021, I can click on this and then click on date. There is another format besides the short date, which is long date. And it gives you a more detail that if the month is the 01, which is the digit in front, or the one in the middle. So in this case, we know that the 08 is August. So it gives us the long date. Let's go to time. Now, when I key in time, let's say 1 o'clock or 1:30 p.m. Now, Excel recognizes time as well. And we're going to check this in more detail a bit as we go further down. How about percentages? So if I put in 0.1, this is a value in Excel. However, if I click on the general settings and click on percentage, it changes to 10%. Okay, going on, we have fractions. So let's say 1.5. Now, if I want to show this in fractions, click on this value, go to fractions, and it shows 1.5. So 1.5 is also equivalent to 1.5. So if you would like to show in these values, this is where it will work out for you. Now, scientific numbers usually are very big, and they involve something like this. And if I want to change this to a scientific value number, I can click on the same settings and go to scientific. So it actually converts this number into a disguise. So bear in mind, guys, all the values I keyed in here earlier are basically values, and its core value is still the same. Okay, it's just a format, like I said, the clothes that it's wearing. Now, last but not least, text. So let's just type Excel madness today. And if you notice, this one just sticks to the left. And this also is under the text layout. Now, any of these values here, all the top ones are all numbers. Only this last one here right now, which I've set as text format, is going to behave as text. Bear in mind, anything that's in text format cannot be used for calculation. So here's a quick example. If I were to select all of these values above I've created and convert them to text value, they will all behave on the left. Okay? Now I can no longer sum this up. I'm just going to do a quick example. This one. This cell plus this cell equals, oops, it can still sum. But my point is, this is not going to be behaving as text. I'm using Excel 365, so maybe it's a bit more intelligent. If using older versions, if they behave as text, they will not be able to calculate. So moving on, we are going to look at dates and time in Excel. Dates and time in Excel are represented by a serial number. Now, what do I mean by that? First, let's just explore some basic functions of dates that you can use. I'm going to put here equals today, open bracket, close bracket. And when I hit enter, it's going to pull up today's date. Now, this is a common function used in Excel so that everyone who wants a sheet that constantly checks the current date, they can use this formula. Now, if you want a static date, you can also use control semicolon. In this form field here, in this cell right now, I'm going to type control semicolon, and I get today's date as well. Now, there is a difference. If I were to click on this, you can observe here, it's a formula. Meaning, if I open this sheet tomorrow, it will show the 16th of August 2021. But this one, when I use the shortcut key, is always going to maintain at 15, 8th of August 2021. So this one is different because you will always be the same, no matter when you open the sheet. But this one will always check your current date, and they will always check from your laptop or computer time, and that's how it knows. So let's explore today what I mean by dates are serial numbers. Let's say my birthday is on the January of 2nd, 1980. Now, this date right here, Excel recognizes it. But let's say if I duplicate this and paste it right here, what I'll get now is this same date. I'm going to choose the settings to general, and you'll see 29252. Now, 29252 is actually the date for 1st of February 1980. Okay? Meaning to say that what is today's date? So let's just click this and change this to general. So today's date is 44,423. Now, to clarify, if I put 1, then what is this if I convert back to date? So let's click all these cells together, multi-select, and change back to short date. 1 now has become the 1st of January 1900. That means the first day in any Excel sheet cannot be less than this. This is your first date. 1st of January 1900 is the first date that Excel will recognize. So to prove my point, if 1 is 1st of January 1900, 365 will be, and let's change this back, 30th of December 1900. So it's exactly 1 whole year for the year 1900. Okay, so you guessed it. That means if I were to key in a random number, like let's say 56424, what will this be if I change this to a date? And you'll be surprised. Changing this to short date will show that this is in the future, 29th of July 2055. Okay, which is a bigger number than the initial number here, which is 44,423. So that just means that these dates are represented as serial number and it's counting days. So every day as we go along, today and tomorrow, it will extend 1 number. So tomorrow we will be 44,424. To prove my point, if I type 44424 here and change this to short date, you will see tomorrow's date. So that's what dates are in Excel. They're actually serial numbers. Now let's take a look at time. Time is a bit more interesting. Now, if I were to just say 1 o'clock, in time, there is a formatting that we can calculate. So let's say I were to put here as 2 o'clock. When you just key in time in Excel, it's only recognized as its values. So in other words, if I were to take this minus this value, I get 1 hour exactly. Okay, so you can calculate time in Excel. There's a bit more in-depth in time we can approach, but for now, we just understand it as it is. Moving on, we can also do formatting with numbers. Now I'm going to key in a sample big number here, and this is one that was taught by one of my Excel teachers, that you can actually reformat this so it's easier to read. Okay, aside from just assigning commas. So let's test it out. Let's say one day my boss tells me, Eugene, this number is too big. Can we just make it to the roundest value and just see the millions at the back? And I'll say, sure, why not? 987654321. And now I'm going to format this in a way that allows me to just see millions and bring it up to the closest rounded number. So what my boss mean is, he just wants to see 987.7 million. Okay, he wants that text in there. So I tell my boss, sure, no problem. Let's work it out. I'm going to right click on this now and go to Format Cells and next Explore. Click on Custom Settings. And here in the General section, I'm going to replace this with a square bracket, open, bigger or equals to 1 million. So 1 million has 6 zeros. There we go. And close square bracket. Now, if anytime you want to re-explore this and test out on your own, you can just re-watch our video. Then I'm going to put here the condition is, these represent the mass values of the number in front, and 0.00 actually represent the decimal values and numbers that you actually want to see. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete 1 0 and put a comma and another comma. The comma actually brings the value closer to 1000. So 2 commas actually now rounds it up into 2000 values. So basically you see 987.7 only. Now I'm going to open the double quote and space and put millions. And there we go. Now we see 987.7 million. Click OK, and that works out great. Now, however, my boss say, if I key in thousands, or it doesn't reach a million yet, I need it to show 1000, right? Because here, if I key in thousands, it's not going to show thousands. Only a big number, like earlier, it will show in millions. So here's a quick tip. I can use the Format Painter on top, click on this function here, and select here as well. Now, what I've done is, I can basically format this cell and I can add some additional conditions. So after millions, let's just put square bracket, bigger or equals to 1000. Okay, close square bracket. And I want to show the value 0, 1 comma, and put 1000. Now I know after this, my boss is going to say, what if I key in any other value? What is it going to show? So I'm just going to put another semicolon condition for and put 0. So if the user keys in any other value besides 1000 or million, it's going to show 0. So let's test this out now. Oops, slight formatting issue. Let me go back there, fix that. 50,000. So if I key in 500, then it will be any value. And if I key in a big number, it will be in millions. So I'm just going to click here and put any value. And here I don't have that formatting, so just click on Format Painter by selecting the above cell that has the format. Use Format Painter, click on this, and now it has this value as well. So now keying in any value, you will see 36. Keying in thousands, you will see thousands. And in big numbers like million, you will see millions. So that's a quick tip here. Now, how can I format non-calculating numbers? So this one is interesting. Okay, non-calculating numbers like credit card. What I can do is, let's say a credit card number usually has 16 digits. I'm just going to key in now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's 16 digits, and it will show scientific because it's such a huge number. So if I go to Format Cells, what I can do quickly right here, I go to Custom, and I can put the hashtag values earlier that I've shown you, and do this quick trick. Dash, hash, 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 dash, hash, 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 dash, hash, 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 hash. And now quickly you can see that this format allows me to key in something similar to a credit card number. Click OK. Okay, and let's just extend that out a bit. All right, last but not least, here we have another few more sessions to cover. IC number, let's say in Malaysia, we key in IC number. So we don't have to go through to the extent of changing everything again. Let's just key in a sample IC number, 880512015632. I can reuse the format above that I've copied, go to custom and change it here. So IC numbers, basically we start with the first 8 digits before the dash. So I can start here with the first dash. Here's the second dash, don't need that. And just clear up the rest. And there we go. Now it has a format of IC number. And now what about handphone numbers? So handphone numbers, usually when you key in the 0, it will disappear, right? So in this case, what I can do is I can just right click this, format this cell, and go to custom and change it like this. I can put a mask of +60 in front, and that will appear. And then I can put the other values at the back. Put 10. So now this will replace the values in the front, and now it will look like this. All right. So I'm glad that you guys have stayed tuned for this long and check out how we can format numbers, and also how exciting that we can actually change numbers to what we want it to see. And you get some insights in what all this is about. So before I end my session, like I said, if you need a copy of this sheet and you want to explore further, we'll provide it in the Seafood Time chat. So right now, I'm going to hand it over to my next presenter, which is Saiful, who continue the next course in his topic. All right, Saiful, all the way to you.